And we're back with the show. Tyler, you got to help me through this, man. I'm already tired already. I've had 4 interviews already. Josh and Jessica Boggs and Brent Shelton, Brent from BFADS and
Ooh,
Mike Crockett from the Wrestling Podcast About Nothing.
man,
I'm
I'm
already
in good
tired,
company.
man. Wow. Can I make it through the show? Can I? Can I? Can I?
You got it, man. You can do this.
All right, I'll give it a shot. Well, we are back with the show. We truly appreciate you staying with us on this outstanding PCC multiverse. We're previewing Week 11 in the NFL, and there is nobody better to break it down with me than my good friend. He is the man, the myth, the legend behind the Fantasy Football Paydirt Podcast, and I will give you the outlets at the end of our interview on it because there's just all these great outlets that you got to check out for his Tuesday and Saturday programs. It's Tyler Baker. What's going on, my friend?
I'm doing well. Thank you for having me on. It's always a pleasure to be on. You'll make it through. You got this, buddy.
I got it. I got it. Okay, second win, second win. So there's a lot of great action going on in the NFL, but before we break down possible injury news or anything of that
Yeah,
nature,
yeah.
please get everybody up to speed on both the Dallas Cowboys finality when it comes to Ezekiel Elliott and also the quarterback situation, which we touched on briefly before with the Minnesota Vikings.
Well, the Ezekiel Elliott saga is over. It is
Say that
done.
10 times fast.
Yeah. The Ezekiel Elliott saga is over. He is not going to pursue any more appeals. We are glad to hear that. The court system is glad to hear that. I think everybody's glad that he is just going to serve a suspension and be done with it. So now at least that gives fantasy owners, they know that they can go ahead and get rid of him or hold on to him because he'll be back at the very, very end of the season. So if you have one of those weird leagues to where you play in week 17, he could be back for that.
But also as well, there's some, basically it looks like they're going to ride the hot hand in
Yeah.
Minnesota.
They are. I don't know if that's the case. I think they're just gonna play Case Keenum until they are really, really sure about Teddy Bridgewater. Teddy Bridgewater had a catastrophic knee injury. He's back. He's practicing. He's looking good in practice. I think that they're just trying to not rush him in. Teddy Bridgewater is the future at quarterback for the Minnesota Vikings. They're 7-2 right now. They're playing really good football. There's really no reason to rush him back. If Case Keenum starts to falter a little bit, then you'll definitely see Bridgewater come in, but don't fix it if it's not broken.
But there's also some great matchups going on this weekend in the NFL, but some key injuries or injury replacements, things of that nature. With the playoffs just around the corner, please break down these important news items that you want people to know about this weekend in the NFL.
Sure. Well, there are some really good matchups. We're going to see the 7-2 Rams go and play at the 7-2 Minnesota Vikings. That's going to be a really, really good game. I think the Atlanta-Seattle game is going to be a good one as well. Now, Seattle has had some injuries, especially that defense. Cam Chancellor is going to be a game-time decision. Earl Thomas will be returning this week as well as Eddie Lacy. But that tackle that they just got, Dwayne Brown, he's going to be a game-time decision as well. So not quite sure what that lineup's going to look like yet in Seattle. Also, for the Dallas Cowboys, not all-star, Pro Bowler Tyron Smith is going to be out again this week. That could mean pretty big things for that offense. They don't have Ezekiel Elliott and then missing probably their best lineman against the Eagles this week. So that might not be too good for the Dallas Cowboys. If you have Dallas Cowboys players, you're a little bit concerned about that. Also, Alshon Jeffrey had popped up on the injury report on Thursday. You don't like to see a midweek injury report addition. It's his ankle. Now, he could have just tweaked it a little bit and they, let him go sit out for the rest of practice. Friday's injury report will tell us a lot about whether he's going to be able to play or not. Chris Hogan for the New England Patriots wide receiver, he's not going to play. Ty Montgomery, running back for the Green Bay Packers, he's going to be a game time decision as well. And because of injuries to Devonta Freeman and Alan Hearns, guys like Tevin Coleman should have a really big role this week in Atlanta. And also Marquise Lee for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Looks like he's going to be the number one target there. We thought maybe Phillip Rivers with the concussion, maybe he wasn't going to play. Well, he's back to practice, so you can expect Phillip Rivers to be out there this Sunday. And Corey Coleman, injured wide receiver for the Cleveland Browns, he's finally healthy. He's going to be playing this week as well.
That was a great, quick update right there. Just boom, 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 boom. Get you that news and information that you need. Once again, it's Tyler Baker from the Fantasy Football Paydirt Podcast. You got to check out his updated podcast this Saturday. When it hits, he will give you all the updated news and information, including injury status and also tweaks and changes you might want to make with your fantasy football roster. And if you want to ask a question directly to Tyler, there's no better place to do it than the Fantasy Football Paydirt Podcast Facebook page. Just go right there and boom, you can talk to them, or their group page where they have over 250 people right there, conversing with each other, sharing ideas, sharing trades, sharing waiver wire pickup ideas, also setting up things for the playoffs and answering a lot of lineup questions as well. And of course, his great site, ffpaydirt.com. But you can also, again, catch his shows every Tuesday and Saturday on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, TuneIn, Overcast.fm, Player.fm, and SoundCloud. Tyler, as always, I truly appreciate you checking in with us each and every time to give us the latest news and information on the NFL for all those fantasy football team owners out there.
Oh, thank you for having me on. I love helping people get better at fantasy football. I spent a lot of time watching games and keeping up with all this stuff. So it's nice to have an outlet to let all this information out.
And I'll tell you what, for your great work, guess what? You get to help me host the Monday show, the Pop Culture Cosmos show, the #1 show on the Podcast Radio Network, coming up this Monday, 10:30 p.m. Eastern, 7:30 p.m. Pacific, right here on the Podcast Radio Network, Apple Podcasts, all Podchaser, and so many other outlets. You get to host it with me.
I'm so excited. You have no idea. I'm so excited.
We're going to have a slam bang time, my friend. I'll tell you, it's going to be awesome indeed. We're going to be talking a lot of great stuff, including some pop culture and also as well recap week 11 in the NFL. Tyler, I wish you all the best this weekend and great luck with your teams. Good luck to all the fantasy football team owners out there, except for the one I'm matched up against. Maybe not so good. Yeah, no, there you go. But other than that, everybody have a great and safe weekend out there in fantasy football. And we'll catch you with a recap from Tyler Baker of the Fantasy Football Paydirt Podcast on Monday's show, The Pop Culture Cosmos.